Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series, Aster Plays Mars Horizon. This game just came out in the past week. I'm pretty excited about it. If you're familiar with another game, Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager, this is basically a remake, maybe spiritual successor. Makes more sense. It's a management sim, as opposed to, like, say, Kerbal Space Program, where you're actually building spacecraft and satellites and things like that, using the in-game physics to achieve orbits and things like that. It's much more about the mechanics of space flight, where this is running a space program. But it's really cool. I did a little test game. I didn't play a full game, just had the tutorial on. It was pretty familiar in concept to the Buzz Aldrin game, but it's cool. I like a lot of the changes. But yeah, let's just we're going to start a new game. I'm gonna play as NASA. It's cool. You can customize the agency, change the name, the look, these bonuses, but we're just gonna stick with the default for now. I was kind of a toss-up between NASA and the Soviet Union, but we're gonna start with them. Do a little campaign here, and yeah, so we'll start. We're just gonna play in the, because what is it? Yeah, right in the Pioneer difficulty setting. Turn the tutorial off, as I already have done it. Not go over the things as we go. So this makes a little more sense once you've played the game. I'll leave it on all as an option. This just gives you an option. Like, I don't know if you ever played a war game or something where you can fight the battle out yourself, or have the computer kind of calculate your success based on the stats of things. It could help speed some things up. So this, by default, it was on like these side missions only. I'll just leave it on this for now, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave all the defaults here. I was thinking we'd do NASA and have a goal. There was an achievement in Buzz Aldrin Space Program Manager where you were to be the first to reach man on the moon in the first decade of the game. I believe that was the achievement. So we're going to try to do that in this playthrough. All right, so welcome, Director. The space race has begun. Staying ahead of the pack will require unprecedented feats of engineering and no shortage of daring. Your role is to develop our space program, leading us into orbit and beyond, keep our agency at the forefront of space science, and inspire generations to come with our triumphs. Humans will one day set foot on another planet. Make sure we get there first. Good luck, Director. Cool. So, yeah, this is the space view. As you unlock more things, you'll be able to target the moon, some of the inner planets, etc. So, yeah, got a few things going on here. First, we need to assign some research. You see our stats up here. So we have some money. It's based on funding. We get a certain amount if we can raise support, which is this one over here, enough, it'll push us up to the next funding tier. So as you complete missions, and there's little interactive things that'll pop up as well, like questions, like, oh, you want your PR team to do this or that, you can get more support, you could lose support. failing a mission could lose you support. But yeah, you go up in tiers, it gets you more cash per turn. Each turn is a month. And then this is your research, it's your science income. So actually click on all these, it'll give you the details here. So here we're just getting this base funding. It looks like we're getting a little extra because the Soviet Union is antagonistic. We have no expenses as of yet. The funding, yeah, so they show us if we get up to, we start at 50 support, we get to 150, we'll go to the next tier. And the cool thing is, you can, if you really complete a lot of stuff before the next funding review, you could go many levels in a single review. So you're not like capped there. And then science. Yeah, so you have active science income. So our buildings alone giving us 110, and we're getting a little diplomacy bonus thing here. So yeah, those are your research resources. So the research is broken up into missions, buildings, and vehicles. Starts out pretty linear, you know, some options, but you know, early on you can hit a lot of things, and then as you go further in the eras, it branches out a bit. And you know, I only played like into around era 2. I was like, I think I was around this region of the missions. Obviously it leads all the way to this, which I'm not even sure. I guess this is probably most likely Mars missions. Yep, a crewed Mars landing is like the ultimate mission here. So that's awesome. So yeah, giving ourselves a little goal to be the first people to set foot on the moon. Then we'll take it from there. So we need our first set our first research, right? Yeah. So we already have test launch available. Got some buildings. We might need a launch pad to do anything. And then yeah. So these are the buildings. You know, launch pads, as your rockets get bigger, you need bigger launch pads. There's these auxiliary buildings that give you bonuses, unlock some additional things. This tier is cool. We're just going to go over a lot of this as it comes up. We start out with a sounding rocket, really basic. You can do some of the initial missions with it, and then you can start moving into the boosters that are able to reach orbit, as well as like reach the moon and things like that. So I did click on that to assign the research, but we can pick something else. So we click on the Earth here, and we can see the mission types. So the milestone missions are the big ones. These are the ones we're going to be competitive about. So test launch is first thing, you know, just let's get a sounding rocket up. Looks like, you know, you can see all the other nations where they are. Everyone says everyone has completed the training, but no one has assigned the mission yet. So you have a true space race kind of thing going on here, where first person to do it, you know, so this is what you get. Sorry. You complete this mission, you're going to get 100 support. You get 250 science. And you see this one's just doled out over 1 month. So you got a 1 month research boost of 250. But for coming in first, you're going to get an additional 50 support. Second would be 20, so on down to 10. And then you can see, so it's always worth doing it if you were planning on doing it, because you're going to get these things. Coming in first is good, especially for us, as the one of our traits was that we get double this bonus. So if we come in first, we're gonna get 100. So that's basically, that doubles the reward. So that's pretty awesome. So those are these are the big missions, right? And they're all locked. You have to research them on the research tree, and then they become available. So the requests, we don't have any of these yet, but as you start to unlock the milestone missions, these requests come up, and they'll use the technology from the milestone missions to do other things. So they're like side missions, and they are a great way to keep your economy going, at least your research economy, is what I found anyway. Because this 112 isn't going to cut it, for a while. You want to really get that boost. So we do this, we're going to get an extra 250, but they can start ramping up. You see, you get 1100 over 2 months. So the research missions are similar. You're going to get these bumps. So if you can keep affording to build the payloads and build the rockets as you're also researching these big missions, that seems like the way to go. You got to kind of balance it out. But as far as our path here, we're going to come down here, obviously, but I think we're going to, well, we'll play it by ear at the split. I think I'd like to probably start with the lunar orbit over the animal in space, but we'll see where we're sitting, because these are equal in research. It looks like the animal in space does give you more science over time. We definitely could do both, but we'll see where we are, because we want to take advantage of that bonus in support that we get. So yeah, I feel like I want to research this rather than whatever I clicked on, but we might not have a launch pad. So let's check our base. So here you see your base. So this is something that's way different than the Buzz Aldrin game. In that game, it kind of had like a fixed scene as where your base was, and you did buy the buildings and upgrade the buildings, but it was static. Everything was, it was more like a little speed bump, I would say, like when you chose to spend the money to buy those things, and there really was no thought about it. Eventually you needed it, and you would just do it. Here they have you laying out the buildings. So if we hit build, looks like, yeah, we don't have anything else to build, so I can't show you the layout, but we don't have a launch pad, so we're going to need that. So we absolutely want to start researching that, but you're actually going to lay it out here on a grid. Maybe this will show, and there's these obstacles in the way, so there's some trees to remove, and you see that they can cost a lot of money. Like right there, that's 1.5 million to get rid of these rocks. So we're going to lay a launch pad here and this and that, but then you get these adjacency bonuses. See right here, we're getting 10 extra research per month because the vehicle hangar is next to the HQ. So it's a little thing they added. It's kind of like another puzzle to worry about, and you can move the buildings after the fact to reorganize. But yeah, I can't say that I care much about this aspect of it. I like the idea that I would build buildings and have to, have the small launch pad and move to the medium and this and that, but I don't personally see the fun in clearing this stuff out and doing a kind of Tetris thing with my buildings and stuff like that. But not that it's a detractor to the game. I just could do without it, so yeah, let's switch our research to the small launch pad. Yep, change the research, and here, I'll hover over this for a second. So see them there, it says small launch pad, 0 of 100. So we'll research this in a single month because our income is 112, and that extra 12 will get banked. And then it says it costs 50k to build it. It's going to start giving us an upkeep of 5k a month. So yeah, we're just going to start there. So that's our research. Active missions, we don't have any. Diplomacy is interesting. So yeah, we're starting out real. in a real tough spot with the Soviet Union here. But that is what's getting us a little money boost because they are our rivals pretty much. And then there's a joint mission aspect too, which is kind of neat. And the ESA has a built-in. They start out with a boost to that. You guys split the costs and things like that of a mission. And has a really cool Spacepedia here, so a lot of information. To really give you some good background of what you're doing. But yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into this now. So what we got to do. So we're going to plan this mission, our test launch. So I give you a nice checklist here. For the sounding rockets, it's real simple. You're going to build the vehicle. You're going to set the launch date. So there's not really any options for the sounding rocket. There is a upper stage and a booster. There's no choice for it. It is telling us here that you need a launch pad before you can launch the vehicle, which we know. And then you can also rename the craft. This tells us some details that, how much it could carry in a payload, how much the booster can carry in a first stage, and everything. Nothing weighs anything in this or whatever. So the only thing that really matters here is that it needs a small launch pad, which we're gonna research and build in a couple months, and the initial reliability. So it's telling us that the reliability is 25%, but that doesn't mean we have 25% chance of it launching. We have a 25% chance of it launching without any problems. We actually have a so is it 56% chance? Yeah, that it will launch with a negative effect. Every time you launch, you do gain, the stages level up, and then they get more reliability. And I think even in critical failure, you might even get, I feel like I got more reliability than success. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to build this rocket. It's going to cost 80K. During construction, some kind of trait will get revealed. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be both. It could be nothing. Just a little, little unknowns. There's always a little unknowns. You never count on it 100%. But as you launch and reuse the same pieces, you build that reliability up a lot, and you're pretty damn sure it's gonna be good, after a while. So cool. So we tell them to build it. So that's the first step. That's launched. So in 2 months, the vehicle will be made. And this timing of things is really important. So it's going to take two months to build the craft. It's going to take 1 month for us to research the launch pad. It's going to take another month to build the launch pad. So actually, we'll have a launch pad once this craft is completed. But then we still have to schedule the launch, and that could be as soon as the next month after that. So cool. So yeah, we got our research and everything. I think we just go to the next month. You could say to the next event, which would just skip through, but we'll click through here. So cool. So our small launch pad research is complete. All right. See, we banked that 12. We needed 100, and we got 12 left over. So we can do two things now. We got to reset our research, and we can build that launch pad. So let's do that now. So there are positives to linking to certain things, and there's negatives. So if we put the launch pad and we touch it against the HQ, I believe, we actually lose some reliability. But by having it adjacent to I forget what this is, the hangar or something, we actually gain a little bit of vehicle build time. So knowing all of the buildings you're gonna make will help laying this out better. I'm just gonna, yeah, because I'm just trying to see the additional things that are gonna get knocked down when we go around here. Actually kind of a tough spot with these rocks. I don't like having to leave that little gap here, so I think actually I'm just gonna pop it over here. Leave space to touch these buildings. We're only getting a positive for building off of here. I know there's a couple other buildings that would probably boost it, but you know, it's a few percent here and there. We can optimize that later. So cool. So tell them to build it. We're good to go. And now let's see our research. So right, so this tier of buildings is pretty neat. So they all unlock mission training of some kind. So this one unlocks science, launch reliability, and finally payload reliability. So what does this mean? When we go to do the launch, if we have these buildings built, we'll have an option to pick a kind of training that is going to happen while we're doing that mission. And it gives us a little bonus of reliability to the payload, which we'll see later, to the launch itself, or just get some extra science from the mission. So these are all cool buildings, but let's go here real quick. And this is neat. So we have a mission, so we can say, hey, let's suggest parts for this mission. It's showing us that we only need the sounding rocket. We don't need any of these or anything like that yet, you know, and as we get more missions, that's just a way to help you out. It's pretty nice. I think we're actually going to now throw some research toward the next mission. We're going to plan ahead and get this opened up, because then that will unlock the mission. And you can see that in here. It has two things here. You have to unlock the mission, and you have to like build the payload for it. So that all comes from having the mission unlocked, and you see no one else has this researched yet. So in our space race here, we want to stay ahead of the competition. Oh, and another thing to note, starting out, you only have, I don't think it shows you here. Where is it? At the base? HQ. Actually, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say it here, but basically we can only have a single active mission at a time, I believe, to start. And there's buildings that will let you have more than one. I think it's check the research tree real quick. I believe it's mission control. Yeah, unlocks an additional mission slot. So that's pretty big. Because, you know, missions take time, especially later on when you start going to other planets. You know, it could take 4 months or whatever for a thing going. So while that mission's still active, even though you're waiting that time, you want to still be able to run maybe some ones in Earth orbit or whatever to make that, you know, get that income like I was saying. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we just go. So cool. So our launch pad's been built. And our launch, our vehicle's been built here, so cool. So this is that construction trait, and it actually ended up getting a little additional launch reliability, so it went up to 30%. So that's great. So this will take us to the planning screen again. So here, if we had the trainings unlocked, we'd be able to pick some. We don't have any. Now all we have to do now is pick our launch date. So this is cool. So this is a calendar. We're in March now. It's showing that April, May, June, July, these are all green. They're optimal. There's no penalty to our launch reliability. But August is suboptimal. We lose 20%, and September is invalid. You just can't even do it. I believe one of the Soviet Union starting traits is that these invalid windows actually become suboptimal windows, so they can launch much more often. They don't have as many barriers to launch, which is neat. So yeah, we want to go as soon as possible. I don't think they would show us if the other nations had selected it yet. I mean, I gotta imagine we're all gonna be close to this because, you know, we're starting at the same point. So yeah, we are ready to go. We confirm that. We lock it in. And next month we will launch the sounding rocket. And we have 10 months before our next funding review. So just as a reminder, we go back, we can check our mission, see we're gonna get 100 support when we complete this. That will bump us up, and we'll definitely get the next tier of funding at that funding review. So very cool. So our research is still trickling in here. It's gonna take 2 more months. Yeah, I think that's fine, because that's really the next step. We need that open up to know our requirements anyway. So cool. And this would show us any other past events. It would also show us things that the other nations have done. We only hear about their launches and things like that, not what they've built and whatnot. So yeah, I think we go to the next month. All right, we're ready for our mission. This is all pretty cool. I'm going to not skip it this time, and I probably won't skip it like the first time we do it, you know, per like tier of rocket, you know, sounding rocket, we'll go to the next one, you know, but we're not gonna watch the launch for every single one probably. So cool. So we were in an optimal window, right? So that gave us a 5%. Oh, sorry, no, we were in an optimal window, so there was no penalty. So we had our 30%. And today, on top of that, was good conditions. Now, it could have been raining, could have gone a negative, you know. I don't know if you can get more than +5, but this is cool. So what are we seeing here? Basically, when we go to launch, the game's gonna roll some dice. If we get 16% or less, critical failure, the vehicle's gonna explode. It's gonna get destroyed, and now we have like almost a 50% chance, you know, of it succeeding. It's in this section here, but with some kind of negative thing that'll happen. And then 26% chance everything goes fine, and then the small 9% chance that it goes really, really well, and we get a bonus of some sort. So let's launch.
4, 3, 2, 1.
A very exciting part, especially if you play Kerbal. The launch is always good. That looked good. This will actually look differently if there's a problem. Looks like we're getting up there anyway. Let's see where we got. Okay. All right. So we hit a negative. Systems were damaged, which is going to lead to only to a negative 25% of the science, which is a bummer, but it's still a success. And the sounding rocket itself levels up, becomes more reliable. All right, we achieved it first. Awesome. That's it, plus 50. I really thought we were supposed to get double that. Well, we'll check that. Cool. Yeah, so go here. So now we hold it first. We're first. Everyone else, look, no one even planned this mission yet. So, you know, I don't know. I think the game might be giving us a little time to get ahead, because I know they become very competitive. it gets hard to to keep being number one. Oh, you know what it is? These are probably already doubled. Like for us, you know, it was probably 25 for everyone else, and it's showing us that it's 50. Okay. At least that's what I'm guessing. But cool. All right, so we're working on this one in the research. So have a little bit to go on that. We are getting that big boost now in science for missions. This is actually, I like this view. This is cool. They're showing like right now in this month we're gonna get this big windfall of science, but moving forward it's gonna drop down here and it'll project out like how much science you're gonna be making. Like even if you have missions planned, haven't finished them yet, but they know the reward. It's like this is your, they'll show another line that's like your potential science, so you can kind of get a sense of like how much income you're looking at potentially over that time frame, so you can have a sense of when your things will get completed, like I said, which is really, really important. Awesome, guys. Well, I think that was that was a little tutorial intro ep. I think we're at a good point maybe to stop and then pick up and move on to the next mission. Keep on trucking with our NASA space program here. In Mars Horizon. Yeah, so hope you're enjoying this. If so, keep on watching, spread the word, help me out. No, I love this stuff. I'm really excited. Love playing Kerbal. Space is very interesting, very cool. So yeah, having fun playing this. So cool. I'll catch you guys next time.